Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to this Arduino programming tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to cover pretty much everything you can do programming wise with Arduino. So let's get started. What do you need? So if you have your Arduino with you, you can do the code using the Arduino application. If not, and this is the case in distance learning, so you only have to enter your class using the Tinkercad code, or you can have your own account on Tinkercad. So in this tutorial I'm going to explain the Arduino basics, then how you can use Arduino as a calculator, and then how you can use the Arduino with other electronics like LED, push button, extra. Finally, you will get introduced to the functions in the Arduino and how you can write your own function. So let's start with Arduino programming, the Arduino basics. So what will be the learning outcomes in this video? You will learn about the Arduino parts. You will get introduced to the main functions. You will learn about serial monitor and serial communication. So now let's get introduced to the Arduino parts. First of all, you have to know that there are 14 digital pins starting from 0 till 13. They are considered as input and output, and also there are 6 analog pins. They are only input. The difference between digital and analog will be explained in the coming videos. Also, the difference between input and output also will be explained in the coming videos, so don't worry. Now let's focus on the other things. Here there are also 4 LEDs. One is indicator for the power, so if it's on, that means that the Arduino is connected to the battery. Here there is TX and RX for transmitting and receiving information. If there is any communication between Arduino and other Arduinos, or between our Arduino and the computers, those LEDs will be blinking. Finally, there is this LED. This LED is connected to pin 13. It's used to check the symbol code. There's also here the USB ports. It's used to connect the USB cable to the computer. Finally, the reset button is used to reset the code in the Arduino. So what are the two main functions in the Arduino? So to write an Arduino, there should be two main functions should be there. Okay, you cannot write any Arduino code without those two functions, which are the void setup and the void loop. Okay, setup and loop functions are initial functions to start an Arduino code. Okay, so what are the difference between the setup function and the loop function? The setup function here runs only once. It's used to initialize pin modes. Finally, it's used to begin a serial communication. I'll explain those 2 points in details later. So the loop function runs repeatedly and defines the code function. So basically the loop function is the function of your code. Okay, now let me introduce you to the serial monitor. What is serial monitor? Serial monitor is a window that displays any serial information the Arduino board is transmitting or receiving. So the serial communication port is already there in the Arduino, but in order for us to open the serial monitor or to use the serial monitor, we have to initialize this serial monitor. How we can initialize it? We can initialize the serial communication by using the Serial.begin command. Okay, so Serial.begin command, from its name, begin, that means you will start or you will begin the communication between the serial monitor and the Arduino. Okay, and the 9600 here representing the speed or the number of bits per second. Okay, and don't forget that the coding in Arduino is capital sensitive, so the S here, since it's in red color, I tried to make it in red color so you will not forget that this is capital, so you have to write it capital. Okay, so Serial.print is the second important command when using or when dealing with serial monitor. What is the use of Serial.print? Again, S here is capital letter, don't forget that. Serial.print is used to present the information in the serial monitor. Okay, so if you want to present a string or if you want to write something, you just write it in here. Okay, whatever sentences or whatever word you want to write, you just can write it here and it will show as a string. Also, you can present a variable name or a variable data as well, and I'll explain this in the coming video. Okay, in this video we will just focus on how we can use Serial.print to present the data as a string. Okay, finally the last command is Serial.print, and it's actually the same function as Serial.print, but the difference here is Serial.println is representing new line. So if you want to represent your information each time in new line, you need to use Serial.println. And that's it. So now let's go to Tinkercad. So here we are in Tinkercad. Let's start with new circuit. Create new circuit. So let's see what will happen if we click on code here. So we cannot write any code. Why? Because it shows that no programmable components in the circuit. So how can I make, or how can I write the code here? So I have to drag programmable components here. So how can I do this? Let me go to Arduino and let me drag this Arduino here. And let's go back to the code and check what will happen. Yes, see, now there's a page where you can write your code. So we will not use the block coding, we're gonna use the text coding. Click on continue. So as you can see here, there is an example of a code written already. I want to delete everything and start from 0. So as we have discussed, there are two main functions, which are setup and the void loop. Okay, and in this code I just want to show you the benefits or the use of serial monitor and to know the basics of void setup and void loop. Okay, so here is the serial monitor. So we cannot use the serial monitor unless we initialize it, right? How we can initialize the serial monitor, I've already explained. We use the Serial.begin command, and here 9600 bits per second. Okay, and don't forget the semicolon here. So Serial.begin, we write this command to initialize the serial communicator or the serial monitor here. Okay, so let's print something on this serial monitor. What do you want to print? So to print something we use, or to show something here, or to present something here, we use Serial.print, right? So if we want to write a string, we just have to write down this and write anything you want. So let's try this. I love Arduino. Okay, let's close this and close the bracket, and don't forget a semicolon. So don't forget that S here and S here, so they are in capital letter. Okay, otherwise there will be a error in the code. So let's start the simulation and see what you will see in the serial monitor. Let's start the simulation. Interesting. So as you can see, the data or the string is repeated forever, and it will be repeated until I stop the simulation here. But you can see that it's repeated in the same line. What if I want it in a different line? Now we will use the third command that I explained already for you, which is, instead of a print, we add ln. Okay, so this is to represent the information in new line. So let's see how things will be in serial monitor. Let's click on clear and start the simulation again and see the result. So when we use the serial.println, as you can see, the information here is changing in new line. So let's stop the simulation and say goodbye. So goodbye everyone, and good luck.